Member Mare, thank you very much for joining us.
Morning, Chair.
So, and all that have joined, good morning. I hope you have a fantastic, you woke up with a fantastic feeling of being thankful for the grace of God to still allow us to be breathing, because that is a blessing. Not all of us have woken up this morning. Others would have wished to be breathing, but it wasn't. So we are thankful for that. And I am going to continue with the meeting, but for the record, to ask the members to introduce themselves. As I start, as my name is Matlodi Maseko, and I am the Standing Committee Chair for Infrastructure. Honorable members.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Bulelo Isaac Seleku, member of the committee. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair. Kayla Murray, member of the Standing Committee.
Good morning, everybody. I am Peter de Villiers, and I'm looking so forward to sit with you guys in this early hour.
Thank you very much. Member Maran, I think maybe he'll be joining us because he indicated yesterday that he will join, but he has a load shedding 8 o'clock, and I did have mine. Member Maran, you can start by introducing yourself. We are on the introduction for record purpose.
Morning, Chairperson. Morning, everyone present. My name is Pet Maran, member of this committee.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I do apologize. I'm not going to switch on the video because of the camera, sorry, because of the load shedding. I suspect if I do that, it's going to be difficult for you to hear me. So we are going to continue in this fashion. Honorable members, we know the agenda is continuation from the meeting Friday for our negotiating mandate. And we requested that the negotiating mandate, our officials help us with Advocate Masdorp to structure each as we highlighted those issues that we highlighted. Subsequent to that, we asked that communication should be sent to the members so that they can have a look if we captured everything that was of concern to the and to structure our negotiating mandate on the Housing Consumer Protection Bill. So I am going to request that, Shumis, if you can flag where we are now and for the members to have a look, and then I'm going to hand over to tell us our way forward, because I think you are the one who still has the ESCOM is kind to you for now that you can flag and talk to us about that. Members, I hope you can see what is on the screen. And also Advocate Masdorp said he will join us around 7:15 because he's still on the road. But if there's anything that we need clarity, he can be contacted to be able to talk to us. So with what you received last night, members, did you manage to look at it and check if everything is captured so that we can continue with our draft committee report? Member Seleku? Member Mare, can you hear me?
Chair, that reflects accordingly on my side.
Pardon?
There were no further comments from my side, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Member Seleku, any further comments? Okay, Member Maran?
Thanks very much, Chair. Chair, as you know, I left early on Friday. I did send a WhatsApp message to Sumi saying that I'm in support of the bill.
Okay.
And if my view becomes the minority, they need to be captured in the. But I see now, Chair, that the committee is supporting the bill. I just wanted to check with you, Chair, that there's a number of proposed amendments. If those amendments, Chair, did not succeed in the NCOP, are we then saying that we are still supporting this bill?
Yeah. So there are some clauses that with the members we raised as we were engaging with the National Department of Human Settlements, but when Advocate Masdorp look at the bill itself, I think from the communication he highlighted that some of the issues that we raised concern with, they're covered in the bill itself. So they sort of fell off because they're covered somewhere else. The only one that we don't see was the conditions of the appointment of the chief executive officer and the chief financial officer. So we still support the bill, but we send a negotiating mandate that we will, it's a wish of them to add that maybe it goes through. But usually the procedure is that if there is something of the concern, it will go there, and then at the National Council of Provinces, they will look at it, and it can be they agree with it or they vote on it to see if it's something that others feel it's important that it goes through. Others, they can say from other provinces, they can say that no, it's not necessary. But it have been something that came from Western Cape that we raised that concern to show that we looked at that bill and to show our concern on record that is the only concern that we have. But as it stands, the high percentage for the bill, this is just going to be the addition. The bill is in its form now. We do support it, member. If I can just say that this is going to just be an addition that we would love to see if it can be agreed to in the NCOP.
Okay, thanks very much for the explanation, Chairperson. Then I want to formally propose, Chair, that we support the bill.
Okay, thank you very much. Shamis?
Good morning, Chair.
Yeah, good morning.
Would you like me to go through the negotiating mandate?
Yes, you please, just for the record, can we go through it? And after I will do the report for to be adopted officially. So
Okay. So after the meeting, we met with Advocate Maasdorp and the State Law Advisor, Ms. Shana Syria, and they've indicated clause 16 to be somewhat of a concern, and they've reworded the way they feel it should be structured, as indicated in clause 16, part 1. And I'm sure members must have had a look at it while it's been on the screen. And then the other clauses are what the committee has indicated is somewhat concerning to the committee, which would then include clause 12 regarding the remuneration for the board, and that it should be done in consultation with the Minister and the Minister of Finance to ensure that there is uniformity across all the boards. So we've indicated that in clause 12. And then clause 13 delegation and assignment of functions by the board, because that was also an issue that the members raised regarding the agreements in terms of the remuneration. So basically clause 12 and 13 basically speak the same language. And then clause 14, the prescribe the requirements for the approval of certain bodies and the listing of the competent persons. So basically who can be appointed on the board, and who providing to ensure that it's the correct persons that is then appointed. So the functions of the council, those were also issues that were raised in the meeting. So these are the proposed amendments to those particular clauses. I don't know whether members would like to see it in conjunction with the actual clauses in the Act. And then the administrative penalties, which was one of the things that came out quite a lot. How much penalties a particular person has to pay for not conforming. So that would be penalty provisions that we've indicated there. And then alternate dispute resolutions, whether the term adjudicate was a problem. So we've indicated that particular clause as well. In addition to this, there was also the clause in terms of the kitchen and the toilets being in a room that was how did they put that? The kitchen that was in a room. How are we going to deal with that particular issue where there's supposed to be a toilet apparently, and members had an issue with that too. That issue was also covered in the clause just below. So Advocate Maasdorp indicated that particular issue was covered, so it is pointless that we raise it again in the negotiating mandate, because it's been asked and answered. And then what we've also included here was the lack of public participation that the legal state law advisor advised that there wasn't enough, or at least she didn't see the public participation from the National Council of Provinces, and that it would be concerning.
Shamis,
Yeah.
sorry, on that one, I think the legal advisor wanted to find out if there is public participation that happened at the NCOP, and do we have the records of that? Did we see the records of that? So it's the concern of the availability of the information pertaining to the public participation from the NCOP. Her concern was that maybe that could have also helped in structuring our negotiating mandate if we had that information. So we can't say lack of, because we don't know if that happened or didn't happen.
Okay, so
I wonder if I captured that. Okay, members, because you were there.
Chair, I wonder if that's something we can maybe put under procedural concern.
Yeah, I think it's.
Should I say procedural concern?
Yeah.
Concern. The public participation process was concerning due to
the unavailability of the.
Due to non-availability.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Maasdorp calling in now.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to say due to non-availability of
of the, we can say the submissions of the public hearings by the NCOP. Okay, everybody can bring in their 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. English here to structure it. Participation.
So
The
I should
public
remove.
participation process was concerning due to non-available. Doesn't sound.
Shall I take this out and say concern was raised?
Yeah.
Around the lack of communication on
Okay.
public participation.
Concern was
Yeah.
raised around the lack
lack
of
of
communication in terms of
Public participation at an NCOP level.
Yeah.
public participation in
At the NCOP level.
Okay, then should I remove the sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kayla, do you agree?
Agree, Chair.
Okay.
Let me. And
Shouldn't
then,
we? Sorry, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we? No, I don't know. I'm not English and it's very early. But isn't it concerns was raised, not concerning was raised?
Yeah, that's the truth. Concerns, she missed the, yeah. Concern was rated just one without an S. Yeah.
And then I've listed the technical concerns and the proposed amendments on certain terms that were utilized.
Okay.
And then lastly, indicated that the bill contained drafting grammatical and typographical errors. To improve the text, it is recommended that the author review the bill using generally accepted Commonwealth legislative drafting practices, as well as enlist the support of a language practitioner with these practices.
Okay. Members?
Is that something you might want to put under procedural?
Yeah.
Should we give it a heading?
I'm not sure.
No. Oof, it's a.
Because
I
that is
think
in
it's on the
conclusion.
manual. The language on the manual is not procedural per se.
I thought we would leave it under in conclusion.
Okay.
My preference is usually to break up the negotiating mandate into concerns that are either procedural or substantive in nature, and things that relate to drafting, to timelines, to public participation. Those tend to be your procedural, and then your substantive is, if you want to question constitutionality, principles, values.
Okay.
Alignment.
So what do you propose we call this?
I would put it under procedural, and then I would refer to it as word drafting.
Okay, so should we remove procedural up there to come down there, the first one that we did? And then you'll have two. Then we don't have to break up the negotiating mandate on the bill itself, on the clauses.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you put the procedural consent. Are you comfortable with this, Member Maro?
Yeah, I'm happy. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, members, with that beautiful document in front of you,
Okay. Everybody happy with this?
yes. Member Seleku, happy?
I'm happy, Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay, Member Maran,
I'm happy, Chair. Fine. Thanks.
Member De Villiers.
I'm very happy, thanks.
Thank you very much. And Member Kale already sang our document praises. Advocate Masdorp.
Advocate Master.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us. We really appreciate your helping us, and we are happy with what is in front of us. And the members, they did receive the communication yesterday. We just had to tweak there and there now, but we are mostly in agreement.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Members, can we adopt our negotiating mandate, our draft negotiating mandate as it stands in front of us?
Okay, I propose we adopt.
Thank you. Do I have to read it again, Shemis? You already did that for us. Or for the record purpose, need
I
to do that.
think members have already looked at this document, Chairperson, as we
Yeah.
went through it.
Okay. Lizette?
Good morning, Chairperson. Just you must read it in the record. I think just to that you can just read the entire negotiating mandate for procedural purposes into the report. Yeah.
Okay, let me do that. Okay, let's go to this. Okay, thank you very much. Report of the Standing Committee on Infrastructure on the Housing Consumer Protection Bill, B10B 2021, NCOP dated the 28th July 2023 as follows. Are we going to write the 28th of July?
It should be the
31
31st.
July.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair, for picking that up.
Thank you very much. Okay, report of the Standing Committee on Infrastructure on the Housing Consumer Protection Bill, B10B 2021, NCOP dated the 31st July 2023 is as follows. The Standing Committee on Infrastructure, having considered the subject of the Housing Consumer Protection Bill, referred to the committee in accordance with Standing Rule 217, confers on the Western Cape's delegation in the NCOP the authority to support the bill with the following recommendations. General concerns and proposal of the amendments are Clause 16, condition of appointment of Chief Executive Officer and Chief Financial Officer. At 16.1, the appointment of the Chief Executive Officer and the Chief Financial Officer is subject to the conclusion with the board of an annual performance contract, which must provide for the grounds on which the appointment of Chief Executive Officer and the Chief Financial Officer may be terminated. The clause 12, which is the committees of board, the aspect of remuneration of co-opted members of committees of the board must be determined by the board with oversight by the minister in consultation with the Minister of Finance. The clause 13, the delegation and assignment of functions of board, remuneration agreements must be concluded in consultation with the Minister and the Minister of Finance. Sorry. The functions of the council, which is the clause 14, The council must be obliged to consult with the provinces regarding developing and prescribing the requirements for the approval of a certification body and the listing of a competent person. Council must be obliged to call for comments by the provinces on the approval of a certification scheme and the approval of a certification body. Clause 63, which is administration of non-compliance with Act. Penalty provisions regarding failure to pay a commensurate with the category of fees payable in respect of a particular category of home builders must be clarified. Clause 67, alternative dispute resolution. The term adjudicate should be reconsidered or used in conjunction with other alternative dispute resolution mechanisms such as mediation and negotiation. Technical, sorry, technical concerns and proposed amendments. The clause 1, technical standards are akin to technical requirements. Use uppercase letters, namely technical standards. The clause 5, the word "the" is missing in clause 5. C, it should read as follows on C, ensure the structural quality of homes in the interest, and it goes on. Heading to chapter 3, it is suggested that the heading to this chapter be expanded to apply to the registration of home builders and developers. Okay, Shimisi, that one? Okay, thanks, you bolded. And on clause 29, register of enrollments, the 29 subsection 3, there is a mistake in the citation of the Promotion of Access to Information Act 2000 in this clause. Correct the citation from Promotion of Access to Information Act 2000 to Promotion of Access to Information Act 2000, in brackets Act 2 of 2000, close brackets. And the clause 61, which deals with the powers and duties of Compliance and Enforcement Committee. The clause 61, section 1, subsection A, the references to section 64, subsection 6, and section 63, subsection 6, should be reversed to reflect the numerical order in which these sections appear in the text. Refer firstly to section 63, subsection 6, and its attendant provision, and then to section 64, subsection 6, and its attendant provisions. And on clause 85, home building manual, section 85, subsection 5, the National Regulator for Compulsory Specifications Act 2008, Act No. 5 of 2000 has been defined, and the short form of the title to the Act ought to be used for this reason. It is suggested that the title be amended and that the full citation of the National Regulations for Compulsory Specifications Act 2008, Act No. 5 of 2008, to the shortened form of the Act, namely the National Regulator for Compulsory Specifications Act 2008. And 3, the procedural concerns that we raise as a committee is on 3.1 is the concern was raised around the lack of communication on terms of public participation at the National Council of Provinces level. Lack of communication, okay, it doesn't sound okay because it's the accessibility of the information. It wasn't, the lack of communication is too broad. We talked about
How
this.
do you propose we word it, Chairperson?
We have to be specific is because we just are talking about the issue of the information of their public hearing. I don't know how do we put that. My English, it comes to me 9 o'clock. Non-accessibility of raise the not non-communication. I think it's the non-accessibility of the and the public hearing. Let me see. Yeah. Concern was raised regarding the non-accessibility of communication in terms of public participation. Okay. Are you done? Concern was raised regarding the non-accessibility of communication in terms of public participation at the National Council of Provinces level. Okay, yeah. And the 3.2, the bill contains certain drafting, grammatical and typographical errors. To improve the text, it is recommended that the author review the bill using generally accepted Commonwealth legislative drafting practices, as well as enlist the support of language practitioners familiar with these practices. There, I present the negotiating mandate for Western Cape Provincial Parliament on Standing Committee on Infrastructure. Members, do I have a support?
Supported, Chair.
Thank you very much. And that, members, it was what was on our agenda for this morning. Is there any other thing, Shamiz?
No, Chairperson, I think that covers it.
Okay, so members, this is what we are going to be sent through to NCOP as your proudly Standing Committee of Infrastructure negotiating mandate. Thank you very much, Advocate Masdorp, Lizette Shumis, Masinhle, Siraj, and my favorite members, all of you, you are appreciated. Have a fantastic day. And with that being said, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you,
Thanks,
members.
Chair.